If a space agency were controlling the mission from Earth, or anywhere else far away from the black hole, they'd observe that each full orbit took 16 minutes. But for the brave people on board, close to this massive object, time would be slowed down. And here the effect would be far more extreme than near the pyramid or planet Earth. The crew's time would be slowed down by half. For every 16-minute orbit, they'd only experience 8 minutes of time. Round they go, experiencing just half the time of everyone far away from the black hole. The ship and its crew would be traveling through time. Imagine they circled the black hole for 5 of their years. 10 years would pass elsewhere. When they got home, everyone on Earth would have aged 5 years more than they had. The crew of the spacecraft would return to a future Earth. They would have made a journey not only in space, but in time. So a supermassive black hole is a time machine. But of course, it's not exactly practical. It has advantages over wormholes in that it doesn't provoke paradoxes, plus it won't destroy itself in a flash of feedback. But it's pretty dangerous. It's a long way away, and it doesn't even take us very far into the future. Fortunately, there is another way to travel in time. And this represents our last and best hope of building a real time machine.
Traveling through the fourth dimension will never be a walk in the park. But it turns out there is a surprisingly straightforward way to do it. You just have to travel very, very fast.
Much faster than even the high speed required to keep out of a supermassive black hole. This is because of another strange fact about the universe. There's a cosmic speed limit. 186,000 miles per second. Also known as the speed of light. Nothing can exceed that speed. I realize this sounds weird, but trust me, it's one of the best established principles in science. Believe it or not, traveling at near the speed of light transports you to the future. To explain why, let's dream up a science fiction transportation system. Imagine a track that goes right around the Earth. A track for a super fast train. We're going to use this imaginary train to get as close as possible to the speed of light and see how it becomes a time machine. On board are passengers with a one-way ticket to the future. The train begins to accelerate, faster and faster. Soon it's circling the Earth over and over again. To approach the speed of light means circling the Earth pretty fast. 7 times a second. But no matter how much power the train has, it can never quite reach the speed of light, since the laws of physics forbid it. Instead, let's say it gets close, just shy of that ultimate speed. Now something extraordinary happens. Time starts flowing slowly on board relative to the rest of the world. Just like near the black hole, only more so. Everything on the train is in slow motion. This happens to protect the speed limit, and it's not hard to see why. Imagine a child running forwards up the train. Her forward speed is added to the speed of the train, so couldn't she break the speed limit simply by accident? The answer is no. The laws of nature prevent the possibility by slowing down time on board. Now she can't run fast enough to break the limit. Time will always slow down just enough to protect the speed limit. And from that fact comes the possibility of traveling large distances into the future. Imagine the train left the station on January the 1st, 2050. It circles the Earth over and over again for 100 years, before finally coming to a halt on New Year's Day, 2150. The passengers will have only lived 1 week, because time is slowed down that much inside the train. When they got out, they'd find a very different world from the one they'd left. In 1 week, they'd have travelled 100 years into the future. Of course, building a train that could reach such a speed is quite impossible. But we have built something very like the train. At the world's largest particle accelerator at CERN in Geneva, Switzerland. Deep underground, in a circular tunnel 16 miles long, is a stream of trillions of tiny particles. When the power is turned on, they accelerate from 0 to 60,000 miles per hour in a fraction of a second. Increase the power, and the particles go faster and faster, until they're whizzing around the tunnel at 11,000 times a second, which is almost the speed of light. But just like the train, they never quite reach that ultimate speed. They can only get to 99.99% of the limit. When that happens, they too start to travel in time. We know this because of some extremely short-lived particles called pi mesons. Ordinarily, they disintegrate after just 25 billionths of a second. When they are accelerated to near light speed, they last 30 times longer. These particles are real-life time travelers. It really is that simple. If we want to travel into the future, we just need to go fast. Really fast. And I think the only way we're ever likely to do that is by going into space.